Welcome to another episode on our channel. We're going to revisit Tombstone because I've made either some small changes, slight changes to some of my figures, and or major changes to some of the figures. And I wanted to update you on those changes, and I hope you find those changes interesting. All right, so I do have Doc Holliday, played by Val Kilmer, Morgan Earp, played by Bill Paxton, Sam Elliott, who plays Virgil Earp, and Kurt Russell, who plays Wyatt Earp. I also have Johnny Ringo, the primary antagonist of the movie, who was portrayed by Michael Biehn. So I have all four protagonists, and I have the one primary antagonist. What I wanted to do in my set was to keep them as uniform as possible, so I used Redman stands for all five characters, the protagonist as well as the antagonist. And what I did is the stands came with the word Marshall here, and I just replaced Marshall with the right name of the person that the figure represented. So we're going to show each figure individually and then have a how-to episode in between, show another figure, another how-to episode, to keep it interesting for folks who may not be so interested in Tombstone. So this is obviously Doc Holliday. What I didn't like about Doc Holliday is the head seemed a bit off. I did get the head from eBay. It was advertised as a Redman Toys head sculpt as well as hat. And for the most part, it looked exactly like a Redman head sculpt set with the hat. Then I purchased an actual Redman set, and sure enough, the head I had was a knockoff. So now I have the Redman, the actual Redman head sculpt and hat. Out of that set, I decided to keep the red vest. I thought that was cool. It made the figure pop in terms of a bit of color. He has a gray Western tie. I kept that from the original Redman set. And the holster, shoulder rig, and firearm underneath the jacket, I kept that. I actually made a holster out of real leather and got this handgun, which I painted white or bone white for the handle. I got that from Stevo Toys, but I made the holster myself because in the scene with Johnny Ringo with the shootout, he used a holster, and I decided, okay, let me just, put a holster on him. I like him better this way. And it's all about what we like in terms of our figures. So we sometimes do take some artistic liberties. I kept the shoes from Redman Toys or the boots, because I thought they looked cool. But the long black jacket is mine. I've had it for years. And I had four of them, at least four of them, so I was able to put the same jacket on all of my protagonists, and I had the same pair of pants for all of my protagonists as well, except for Wyatt Earp, which is a complete Redman Toys figure. So so the hat, the head sculpt, the tie, the vest, the shoulder rig, and it's not the gun. I should have said that. This gun is Stevo Toys as well, as is this gun on the side of his hip. They're made of metal. I painted them both, the handles white, made the holster, had the black coat, the black pants, the black boots came from Redman Toys, and of course the stand is Redman Toys. But I think he looks absolutely cool. And what we will do now is get him on a turn tray and see him from different angles, and then we'll get some tighter close-ups from here on up, and then key in on his head sculpt so you can see the details in his face. This is a rather nice figure, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. We are back and we'll see some profiles of Doc Holliday. So let me go this way so you can see this side of him. I really love this rendition of him, this new update of him. I love it. And we'll go over here and see the other side. Once I saw that red vest on the Redman figure, I said, yeah, that's going to have to stay on this guy. And so it does. So there we go. We'll now get a tighter close-up of him, and hopefully you can see much more in terms of details. Here's a better close-up of Doc Holliday. We'll just turn him side to side so you can see a few more details, hopefully, of this figure. You can see, of course, the sidearm and the shoulder rig. I kind of think it's so neat to have this belt across his midriff. That's a cool look. So his profile looks really good. And from this side, you're going to see the handgun from Stevo Toys that I painted bone white. Very nice. His hand back into a locked position as if he's getting ready to draw. I really love it when I can get jackets and shirts to fit nicely on a figure. And in this case, it's so nicely done. You can see, a bit of the white shirt, and the jacket is, they're just, from my perspective, in good positions on this figure. I like his pose. I like everything about him. You can even see parts of his suspenders on his pants over here. Not to say this is true to the movie. Obviously, I take artistic liberties whenever I want to, because the most important thing is, does it look good to me? And right now, he's looking fantastic. Redman Toys did a faithful job at capturing Val Kilmer here as Doc Holliday. I think it's an awesome head sculpt, and I love the hat. It's absolutely perfect. Here's one last look at our figure focus, Doc Holliday from Tombstone. Hang in there. We're going to do some how-to videos between each of the Tombstone characters just to keep things interesting for folks who aren't too interested in Tombstone. But like I said, I've done a few updates on these figures, and I wanted to show you the updates. I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day.